After 2 years, Bintan is open to travelers from Singapore again. Fantastic news for tourists and for Bintan itself. Before the pandemic, it was the ideal spontaneous getaway. However, a bit more preparation is required before you get to enjoy Bintan's beautiful beaches. For this trip, we traveled by ferry to enter the Bintan Resort's travel bubble, a vaccinated zone for travelers. Here's what you need before embarking on the vaccinated travel lane to Bintan. Crucially, for those who aren't citizens of Singapore or Indonesia, they will need to acquire an online entry visa. The process is no longer done at the Bintan Ferry terminal. Everyone except children younger than 2 has to take a COVID-19 Pcr test within 3 days of departure. And bear in mind, the standard Pcr test requires at least 24 hours for the results to come through. There is a version that can be processed within 6 hours, but that can cost over $250, which could be seen as a lot for a short trip. Before you arrive at Tanah Merah Ferry Terminal, along with your passport, make sure you have digital and physical copies of documents such as your vaccination record and negative Pcr test result. Customs officials will also check that you have bought travel insurance that specifically has COVID-19 medical coverage for at least 30,000 Singapore dollars. You also need to present proof of your hotel booking confirmation and book an on-arrival PCR test at Bintan when buying your ferry ticket. Another pre-departure requirement is to download the Peduli Lindungi app, the Indonesian version of Trace Together, and upload your vaccination record and pre-departure PCR test result onto the app. You also have to submit an online health declaration to the authorities. While the app interface is well designed, some aspects such as scanning entry codes were not so straightforward. With those items checked off, it's all aboard for the ferry to Bintan. We were part of the first group of 35 travelers to Bintan on the VTLC arrangement, and we received a warm welcome at the Bandar Bintan Telani Ferry Terminal. You're asked to scan the Peduli Lindungi app for entry, and your documents are checked. You will also need to take a PCR test upon arrival. This test swabs the nostrils and the throat, though it's not painful at all. Also, at $30, it costs far less than a typical PCR test in Singapore. You will be given a Blue Pass token, similar to Singapore's Trace Together tokens. The Blue Pass device requires a $20 deposit, which will be refunded upon returning the token when you leave Bintan. You will be asked to isolate at your hotel until the PCR result is out. This takes an estimated 1.5 hours. Again, less than the time it takes in Singapore for a PCR test result. The interlude also works as a moment to decompress after your journey. Once you get that negative result, you can enjoy your stay in Bintan, which can be up to 14 days. Banyan Tree Bintan is one of 16 hotels and resorts under the Bintan Resort's travel bubble. There is plenty to enjoy in Bintan, such as beaches, golf, and other attractions. Everything needed to put the daily grind far from your mind. But when it is time to return, there are steps to remember. Before boarding the ferry back to Singapore, return your Blue Pass token. You will also be asked to fill out a health declaration before departure. This can be done online. The very last item on your itinerary is that once you arrive back in Singapore, you have to undergo a supervised ART test at a quick test center or a combined test center within 24 hours of arrival. Some final thoughts. It's early days for this travel lane, and yes, there are a number of steps to take. Some aspects need the kinks ironing out, but the Bintan authorities are meeting regularly to tackle such issues. That said, Bintan is a beautiful place to be.